conservative is here to complain about black half lesbian plays Jesus Christ. I thought Jesus was God, and I thought we were all made in God's image.
I get to.
I don't know what a half lesbian is. Maybe like a half orc type situation, half elf. You know, it's a fantasy race. Could be a bi woman, but I'm pretty sure it's different.
I've got to get to the story that I wanted to avoid. Cynthia Erivo. Cynthia Erivo she's this actress. Looks a little bit funny sometimes. She's an actress. I'm not commenting even on her natural appearance. I'm saying she
looks a bit funny.
Sometimes in performances, she has really long, pointy, scary nails. Tons of piercings, and kind of hunched over, and that's how Cynthia Erivo, a woman, decided that she would play Christ.
Oh no, Christ?
In Jesus Christ Superstar at the Hollywood Bowl.
At Jesus Christ Superstar, a well-known respecter of the religion. Jesus Christ Superstar. I'm outraged, Michael. Tell me more. Is that Adam Lambert?
I don't understand why you let the things you did get so out of hand.
For a gay guy, I'm surprised he doesn't like stage performances more. This is kind of like his pocket. I think it's probably because he's been kicked out of all of those spaces by his peers because they don't like him. I've never seen Jesus Christ Superstar in person. I'm sure it rips.
You'd manage better if you had
We have to watch it. I'm sorry, Michael. I'm not watching this as seriously as you. Let me. I don't fucking like that at all. Ugh. God, that bitch Adam Lambert and his pipes. Ugh. I'm so fucking jealous. I wish that was me on the stage instead of here in this dark room with my Tiffany lamp and my gay little cigars.
That's enough. That's all I need of the performance. You know, the one thing I'll say for Cynthia Erivo,
Who is this for? This is for guys who like Bill Maher but are too conservative even to watch that, I think. I want to see Michael Knowles and Bill Maher in the same room and have a conversation for as long as either of them can stand it. First one to leave opens the door and gets to walk out. Twist, room's at the bottom of the ocean.
Striking looking. So which is helpful for actors. It is, and Brando is striking looking. Okay. What does the director say? Cynthia's brilliant, her voice, presence.
They might fuck, honestly.
And simultaneous power and vulnerability absolutely blows my mind, and working with her has been a dream. I'm excited by the challenge of presenting the audience with a production led by a female black Jesus, and encourage the audience to expand their minds a bit.
Yeah, expand your minds a bit. I don't know, you Christians are all weird about Jesus, but I'm pretty sure when Jesus said, "I am God," that opened up Jesus to a non-binary, genderless, angelic being, not too dissimilar from a biblical angel. So, I mean, he can obviously transcend all of the things. Minty Treasure Redeemed say something nice about Michael Knowles. Of all the right-wingers, he looks like he's the one that takes the most baths. I'm right, too. That is nice. That's luxurious.
Originally utilizing rock and roll, Jesus Christ Superstar is supposed to provoke and challenge. That's the point. And shouldn't the teachings of Jesus transcend gender? This is going to convince some.
Not a damn thing wrong with a bath. I'm not saying anything. You said say something nice. Looks like a bath guy. Looks like a guy who luxuriates with a bath bomb from now and then, you know?
Some Christians. Because, obviously, Christ's teachings... it's not that they transcend gender. It's that they speak to both genders. They speak...
To both. They don't transcend gender, because then he would have to agree that there's some kind of. We could conceive of something outside of two genders. Whoa, wait, no. Actually, it's the two. He speaks to two genders, only two of them. Even though, of course, gender, even as the biblical concept, is of course a social construct. You have different standards of what being a man or woman is throughout time. In fact, the Bible changed its opinion on this multiple times. A man has to do this. A woman must do this. I would love to see Michael Knowles learning on Miku Binder Thomas Jefferson. I don't know what the fuck sentence I just read out loud. I'm like Ron Burgundy right now.
But
yeah,
even if let's just grant the premise.
Let's grant the premise.
It's teaching transcends gender.
Okay.
Christ does not transcend gender.
Christ literally transcends gender by your own claim that he's God. Like, yeah, he does. What? Well, I don't know. Christians do this weird thing where they have to power down God, Jesus, the Holy Spirit to make certain arguments, and it's just so weird. And it depends on what they're arguing. Like, what a weird thing to box Jesus into, who, of course, is, if we are all made in God's image, then, of course, God is a genderless being, right? You don't think God adheres to human gender roles and sex variants, right? So I just don't understand. If you can conceive of God as genderless, unless you think he has a cock, I don't understand. Christ isn't powerful enough to transcend gender. He's just a little guy, a weak little guy. You seen his dick? I'll tell you this: if Jesus is actually perfect in every way, and he is actually holy, and I said this before, but I'll say it again, especially because Michael Knowles is in attendance. Jesus would give the best blowjob. That's just facts, based on his power level, as described. He's perfect in every way. If he's perfect in every way, he's perfect in every conceivable way. Yeah, he would have to. He would have to be the best at it. It'd be real sensual.
And this is a real stumbling block for people.
What is?
Christ does not transcend gender.
He do.
In that Christ is a man. Christ has a holy mother, the Virgin Mary.
What?
It's not, the whole story isn't all just men, but...
Okay, what? He's just naming stuff.
Christ
He's
is
fumbling.
a man. And
Christ
this is the
a
part...
man? So Jesus is a man. I would say the Christ figure that you describe is Jesus of Nazareth is an avatar of a genderless super being, and one aspect of his Trinity force moves into that avatar of Jesus and walks around the world as a man to understand things. I just don't understand why you're powering down your God. Certainly you believe that Christ transcends humanity and all of the trappings of it, including gender. Insane argument for a Christian to make. What a bumbling fool. Do you see what being a Christian makes you do? You just have to make really stupid arguments.
It is just impossible for people to understand.
Yep.
This has been, and especially in the fullest extent in the crucifixion, this has been a stumbling block and foolishness. This is, just to quote 1 Corinthians chapter 1.
Yeah, off the card, not off your head. You have a Christian writer that tells you, okay, we have to add some Christian shit.
1:20-25. Where is the wise man? Where is the scribe? Where is the debater of this age? Has not God made foolish the wisdom of the world? For since in the wisdom of God, the world did not know God through wisdom, it pleased God through the folly of what we preach to save them.
He's never read this in his life one time. And he's not interested in the words. Listen to how he skips over them. This is not how someone who is into the topic reads the words of something. Can you imagine me reading something I thought was a banger with the tone of someone who's just getting through his day job? Okay, very convicted Christian here.
Who believe. For Jews demand signs and Greeks seek wisdom, but we preach Christ crucified, a stumbling block to Jews and folly to Gentiles. But to those who are called, both Jews and Greeks, Christ the power of God and the wisdom of God, for the foolishness of God is
racistly calling the Romans Greeks
wiser than men, and the weakness of God is stronger than men. This is the key here. Here, St. Paul is writing about the crucifixion, but we can extend this even to the whole of the incarnation. This is a stumbling block to Jews.
Okay, now the Jews, you are involved. This is a stumbling block. If I say it a bunch, because it sounds like a biblical term, this is a stumbling block.
Because in the Jewish understanding, God's not supposed to be a man.
What do you mean?
This is
Nobody is a... God isn't a man. What do you mean? In the Christian understanding, he isn't. I don't know why he's saying this.
folly to Gentiles. This is ridiculous to Gentiles. Not just that, as St. Paul is describing, that God can be crucified, but how can God be crucified? Because God has a human nature in Christ, a divine nature and a human nature
Okay.
together.
I think he's confused about this argument too. Like the way he says this, it's like he's trying to talk himself into it as well. Yeah, it's a divine and a human nature. Yeah. That's what it is. Yeah, that's what's going on.
And that means Christ is a man, which means
That means Christ is a man. And so if you're a woman, you can't say that you're playing Christ in a play, in a make-believe. That would be a no-no.
he looked like something. And he didn't look like Cynthia. He looks like something, I should say. But during his sojourn on earth, he looked a certain way. Glorified body looks a little bit different too, but in the resurrection. But he doesn't look like...
Dude, gay? What the fuck? His glorified body?
Cynthia Erivo. He does in the sense that we're all human beings, but he is a certain height. He's a certain sex. He has certain hair. He is a certain race.
He's a certain race. Not white. So, where in the Bible do you see his physical description? Can we get it? It's in Revelation now. Prophecy from Isaiah, but that's not... Yeah, we don't have any. Isn't that crazy? So anyway, the modern white Jesus stuff is like some guy's fucking son, right? It's like some duke son who commissioned some art and then that just took off. They were like, okay, that's the Jesus now. At best, even if you're a Christian, you're like, okay, Isaiah's prophecy is telling the truth. Isaiah's prophecy about the appearance is that he just looks like a guy. Literally. It's just, he looks like a normal guy.
He's particular. There is a particularity to God. That is a fact of the Christian faith.
What is? There's a particularity to God. What does that mean? He's being vague.
A fact revealed in the Christian faith. That is a stumbling block to Jews and folly to Gentiles. And all these people, these directors, oh, how wise they are. Imagine though, what if Christ were Cynthia Erivo? Okay. And again, it's not even just about her natural appearance. It's
his teeth are fucked up, man. Like, he looks like a villain. He's got villain teeth. I don't know what's going on. They're just like, he looks like he's a demon pretending to be a man.
The long pointy nails. It's all of the mutilations, all of the
mutilations, piercings in your ear,
piercings, and all the rest of it being hunched over. It's this presentation that I think is intentionally or unintentionally doesn't quite look divine.
So this is the same guy that's like, you got to cut your foreskins off. You know how that one time when there were plagues, you got to put the blood and then the bugs won't eat you. Come on.
That's the issue. And it comes out of a scandal.
Yeah, she's black and you're mad.
All these
if it was Sydney Sweeney, he wouldn't give a fuck. He'd be like, "Oh, Sydney Sweeney's playing Jesus. How? Oh, the divine feminine."
I used to be imagine if. But listen, I'm gonna show you how smart we are. Imagine if.
Actually, she made a anti-Christian, pro-abortion movie where she killed the second coming of Christ.
Christ were a woman. Imagine if. Yeah, that sounds to me like the thought of the wise man, the scribe, the debater of this age. But the foolishness of God is wiser than men.
Why does he think he's a pastor or something like this? He's a priest. God, he's so fucking cringe. This is why he does this job. He landed here. That's crazy. This guy wanted to be an actor. A gay one. And he should have been. Should have just allowed himself to be a gay actor. Instead, he's a gay right-winger. Trapped in the closet, hiding behind cigars. I don't give a fuck. You can play Jesus if you want. I don't care. It's a fictional character. You can do whatever you want with the fictional characters.